Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be courageous? You see, courage is not just about superheroes in capes or warriors in battles. It's an everyday virtue, an essential quality that we all possess in varying degrees. Courage is about facing your fears and taking risks, even when the outcome is uncertain. It's about pushing beyond your comfort zone, challenging the status quo, and daring to dream bigger, even when the odds are stacked against you. But here's the thing, courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. Quite the contrary. It means feeling the fear but choosing to act anyway. It's about overcoming your apprehensions, not letting them paralyze you. Courage is about standing up for what you believe in, even when it's not popular. It's about making tough decisions, even when they're not easy. So let's redefine courage. Courage, then, is not a lack of fear, but the ability to act in the face of fear. Now imagine a young girl standing up to the tyranny of an oppressive regime. This is the story of Malala Yousafzai, a brave young woman from Pakistan. At a tender age, she dared to raise her voice against the Taliban, who were vehemently opposed to girls' education. Despite facing direct threats to her life, Malala never backed down. She stood firm, advocating for the education rights of girls in her community and around the world. Her courage was not unnoticed. The world watched as this young girl faced down the tyranny of the Taliban, standing her ground against their oppressive regime. Her bravery was so impactful that it led her to become the youngest laureate of the Nobel Peace Prize. Malala's story is a testament to the power of courage. It shows how one person armed with nothing but bravery and determination can spark a change that resonates around the globe. And so, a young girl's courage changed the world. From a young girl's bravery, we now turn to an ordinary man's extraordinary courage. Meet Rick Rescorla, an unassuming security chief who would become a beacon of hope during one of the darkest days in history. On the morning of September 11, 2001, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center were under attack. Amidst the chaos and confusion, Rick Rescorla stood tall. As the security chief for Morgan Stanley, Rick was responsible for the lives of 2,700 employees. As the buildings around them crumbled, Rick orchestrated a successful evacuation of most of his charges. His voice echoed through the stairwells, guiding, reassuring, instilling courage in the hearts of those trembling with fear. His quick thinking and steadfast bravery saved countless lives that day. Rick Rescorla was an ordinary man, but his courage in a moment of crisis was extraordinary. An ordinary man's courage in a moment of crisis saved thousands of lives. You may ask, why do these stories of courage matter? Well, they matter because they inspire. They instill in us a sense of bravery, a desire to stand up and make a difference in our own lives. They show us that courage is not reserved for superheroes in comic books or soldiers on the battlefield. It's an attribute that each of us can cultivate within ourselves. Imagine a world where courage is the norm, not the exception. We'd see more people stepping out of their comfort zones, challenging the status quo, and driving significant changes in their personal lives and in society. The impact of courage goes beyond the individual. It can ripple outwards, influencing others and shaping the world in profound ways. Every act of bravery, no matter how small, can be a beacon of hope, a spark that can ignite a wildfire of change. Courage, then, is not just an individual act, but a catalyst for change. So, what does courage mean to you? Is it standing up for a friend in need, or maybe it's speaking out against an injustice? Perhaps it's simply getting out of bed on a day when everything feels overwhelming. Courage, my friends, is not always a grand gesture. It's often found in the quiet moments, the small acts that may seem insignificant to the outer world, but are monumental within the landscape of our hearts. Every act of courage, no matter how small, is a brick in the foundation of a more courageous society. Imagine a world where each of us dares to take that one small step into bravery each day. What an invincible world that would be. So let's make a pact to honor our courage, to celebrate our bravery, and to acknowledge the strength within us. Let's foster a world where courage is the norm, not the exception. Remember, every act of courage, no matter how small, is a step towards a braver world. Subscribe for more because you won't find me later.